Hey guys, Aris here, Hardware Bastards. Today we have a power supply from Gigabyte. It's this one. Yeah, I've opened it. I will explain why. And something makes a noise, right? You hear it.
Is it something that you did, or is it something that
I didn't do anything.
So
that's a part from the PSU.
What?
That's a part from the main fetch of the PSU. Okay, we will explain during the review. Let's start with the model number. Gigabyte GP-P750GM. The OEM is MEIC. There are two models in this line, one with 850 watts capacity and one with 750 watts capacity. I have the latter here. Efficiency ETA A in the cybernetic scale and 80 plus gold. Noise lambda A minus, meaning 25 to 30 decibels average noise output. Fully modular, super compact dimensions, only 140 millimeters depth. Price $120. Given its features, it looks okay, fairish the price. Warranty 5 years. Power specifications, it has a single 12-volt rail, cables, 2 EPS, 4 PCI Express, 8 SATA, 3 4-pin Molex and 1 BERC adapter. Aries favorite, don't ask me why.
don't ask me why.
Cable length and distance between them now. The EPS cable should be longer, reaching at least 650 millimeters in length. Now the distance between the 4-pin Molex connectors is too short at only 110 millimeters. They should be 150 millimeters at least. Strangely enough though, the SATA connectors are located 150 millimeters from each other. There are no in-cable caps. This is very good. It will help you a lot during cable management and routing processes. Now let's talk about the internal design and its build quality. The platform, as I have already mentioned, is built by MEIC. How this spelled or make?
I don't know, you confused me from the beginning with the name of the PSU and then the company's name.
Okay. So, this OEM also makes the Aorus P850 and P750 units, the high-end units in Gigabyte's portfolio of corresponding products. The design is super clean, with no cables blocking the airflow, and the heatsinks are super small. The build quality is high, but with build quality I mean soldering quality in this stuff, but lower-end manufacturers provide some key components. I'm referring to the APFC and primary switching FETs. The capacitors on the secondary side are provided by an unknown manufacturer. I couldn't find any detailed information on these caps, and I tried very hard, believe me. About the fan now, it is provided by Yatey-Lun and its model number is D12SH-12. It has a rifle bearing instead of a hydraulic one that Gigabyte claims. I had to destroy the fan to take a look at its bearing, but it was worth the trouble since I found out the truth about its bearing. Soldering quality, it's very good. Actually, I was amazed at how good the soldering quality is in this unit. I wish I could say the same about the parts that Gigabyte used. Protection features. The overpower protection is set too high and led to the PSU's destruction. OCP at 12 volt is also set high. A brief failure analysis. The primary switching FETs blew sky high, both of them. This was a huge failure which shouldn't happen at first place. The PSU's protection features actually failed to protect the PSU. The cheap FETs on the primary side clearly couldn't handle the load. Gigabyte should use better FETs on the primary side. This is a company, the manufacturer of the FETs, that I have never ever encountered so far as well. Very this PSU had lots of brands that I have never encountered, and I have got it open over 1000 PSUs. Actually, I believe close to 2000 PSUs so far. So there's nothing I haven't seen yet, but this PSU proved me wrong, apparently.
Could this be only in our sample, the failure I mean? Or is it because of the FETs? It's gonna happen in every PSU of the same line?
I cannot know. We contact Gigabyte's PSU, actually the director of R&D, and I present him with our facts. He told me that they tested 5 PSUs, nothing exploded, but he didn't suggest to send another sample to us or take back this sample for analysis, which is what he should do.
He probably didn't know about the golden samples at the time then.
Hold up time. Lower than 17 milliseconds and the power OK signal is inaccurate, reporting normal readings to the system's mainboard while the PSU's rail are at lower than the nominal voltages. This is very, very bad. Overall efficiency, it is quite high. In this area it scores pretty well. Overall noise output lower than 30 decibels, so it is good enough. Overall performance not high enough to compete with units like the Corsair RM750X, the XPG Core Reactor 750 and the EVGA Supernova G5 with similar capacity, although the latter is inferior to the previous G3 model, but still, I'm referring to the EVGA unit, still it manages to beat this Gigabyte model. Bottom line, performance-wise, this PSU doesn't manage to stand out from the crowd. In an area that matters the most in real-life conditions, the transient response, the 12-volt rail doesn't perform well. This rail must have as low as possible voltage drops with transient loads, which are what a PSU will have to face in a real-life scenario. All in all, I cannot recommend this power supply despite its decent price. You better spend a little more and get a similar spec power supply from Corsair, XPG, Thermaltake, Seasonic or Cooler Master. I hope Gigabyte takes my comments seriously and improves this product. Pros: deliver at full power and 47 degrees Celsius, efficient platform, tight load regulation at 12 volt, good soldering quality, not noisy operation, fully modular, 2 EPS and 4 PCI Express connectors, compact dimensions, semi-passive operation which cannot be deactivated though, and 5-year warranty. Cons: my sample blew sky high during over power protection evaluation. Over power protection is not properly set, obviously. Lousy transient response at 12 volt and 3.3 volt rails. Low quality FETs on the primary side. Unknown cabs used on the secondary side. They advertise an HTB fan, but I found a rifle bearing one instead. Very low efficiency with 2% load. Low efficiency at 5 VSB. Lower than 17 milliseconds hold up time. Non-accurate power OK signal. EPS cable should be 650 mm long at least. Short distance between peripheral connectors. Not fully compatible with the newest ATX specification version 2.52. That is all. Thank you for watching another PSU review from us. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye.